Color trends, jump on board or not? Are color trends right for you in your interior spaces, or do you just, willy-nilly grab at any old color to decorate or design with for your decor? Well, in this video, we'll talk about why it may serve you much better to buck those color trends and come up with what truly works, inspires, and most importantly, energetically supports you in your day-to-day existence. And we'll specifically talk a bit about this year's Pantone Color of the Year, the classic blue, what that looks like, and how it may or may not be the right color palette option for you in your physical environment, and how to listen to and better understand, what color or colors would work best for you. And real quick like a bunny, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons if you're excited to hear about what I've got in store today. And hit the bell too if you want to be notified when I post the videos, which is once a week. Thank you, and I appreciate your support. So trends come and go, right? I'm interested in some trends, occasionally bite off one or two here and there. But for the most part, throughout the years, I've learned to develop and listen to and, trust my own personal style, tastes, and desires. And you can too. So, hi everyone, and welcome back to Design Beyond the Visual, where I offer you a blend of conventional design wisdom, those aesthetic and functional elements that go into creating our interior spaces, where I use my strong intuition. But what I am most passionate about sharing with you are the Vastu tips that can support, generate, and boost the positive energy flow for you in your interior spaces. I'm Heidi Smith. You can think of me as your decorating coach and energetic advisor for you, your home, and for your workplace spaces. I'm here to help you, empower you by giving you ways to create good Vastu design for your whole home. And quickly, for those of you who are new to a very old method, that is Vastu, it is an ancient science and wisdom that creates an energy, a feeling that we get when you are in a space. And we do that through good Vastu. We have specific techniques and methods where we can amplify that sense of harmony and good health and bring that into our buildings, our homes, our places that we live in and work from. You can think of it as yoga for the home, the yoga of design, or even the mother of feng shui. It's been around for over 10,000 years. So let's talk a bit about this year's classic blue trend color as announced by Pantone's Color for 2020. I think it's a very beautiful color. It'd be great in a velvet or a soft mohair to use as upholstery. It'd be expensive too for a nice sofa, but it's also a stunning wall color for well-prepped walls with complementary white trim. You could use it for a luxurious wall-to-wall carpet in a study or a den, excuse me. Or it would also be a beautiful color, maybe a little silk blend for a duvet or a comforter. Again, maybe a little expensive. But here's the caveat. This is what I want you to know. This is a color that can be tricky for some of us who may be prone to heavy moods or have a tendency to see the glass as half empty, I mean, I would probably steer completely clear of this color if that be the case. I'd even go so far as to say, it could be an unhealthy color choice for some of us. So here's what I mean. Classic blue has a lot of opacity, a lot of depth and darkness. And here's what that color looks like. Again, I wanted to show you. It's important to be mindful of what you want to create with this color. If you're one of those folks that just is happy-pappy all the time, and good for you, then you probably, wouldn't be negatively impacted. It's a color that can have a luxurious feel to it, a regal feeling, as in royalty, those heavy-looking deep blue velvet robes we all walk around with, us royals. We're getting our morning cuppa. So it's the heavy-looking part I want to point out. For example, when we see something in a color that seems heavy, it can feel heavy or weighty in our bodies. Now that can be a good thing or not so good thing. And here's what I mean by that. So to emphasize the point about how a color can negatively affect you or this not being a good thing, a very good friend of mine pointed out that there's no way that she could entertain using this color at all in her interior spaces because it would feel oppressive on her spirit and make her feel weighed down, potentially triggering depression, something that she's dealt with on and off for many years. And that's an important variable for her, for people like her. I've been no stranger to that in the past either. I would probably shy away from it too. So, this year's color wouldn't necessarily be advisable, right? So it's that feeling of how a color makes us feel that is so worth knowing about ourselves before we jump into slapping a new paint color on our walls or the floors or the ceilings, or potentially ordering, that dark blue sofa that will most definitely command a prominent seat at the table in your interior decor. So be mindful of jumping on board the trending color train just because it's a trend. And by the same token, a good thing about using this color for someone who is high energy and is not particularly tripped up by dark or sullen moods could actually, potentially benefit from using dark colors, or in this case, we're talking about the classic blue color. And let me just say, living with someone for many years that had boatloads of high energy with 2 speeds on or off, let's just say I wished I would have known about the power of color back then. It's important how the color makes you feel. How do you feel when you are in a room with colors you've chosen, or maybe the colors that have been chosen for you? This reminds me of, a quick story in my own childhood. As a child, I desperately wanted a yellow bedroom. And how I even know that could be possible is I saw a yellow bedroom on a home tour my parents drugged me to, kicking and screaming, years ago. And when I saw that model bedroom, boy, it made that whole trip just completely worthwhile. And after that, I begged my mother for a yellow bedroom. Never got it, but anyway, the point is, I loved how that color palette made me feel. It made me feel happy and uplifted and alive. And that was important because I didn't have regular access to those positive feelings when growing up, due to the family experiences I was dealt. So in that yellow color palette, what I saw or felt, because color makes us feel, I felt the possibility of something brighter and more hopeful within me. So color makes us feel certain things. It makes us feel a certain way, and that matters a lot. So parents, if you're listening, listen to your kids. They'll give you subtle cues. All right, maybe not so subtle. But, the colors that they prefer for their beings, and you'll probably find it's a lot more than just a visual interpretation they're attracted to. It's about how the color makes them feel. Or more to the immediate point I'm making here is of how they want to feel. All right, this is, Design Beyond the Visual channel. All right. So that person, I lived with all that time, thank goodness, I had the intuitive sense to not plaster the walls or the carpets and the like with large applications of yellow. That is a high energy color. I could have benefited by it probably, but there are some of us who just do not need large displays of yellow in our interior spaces. We could do accents here and there, but hold off on my childhood vision of full-on, yellow walls and carpets and bedspreads. I mean, wow, that was a classic case of, hashtag stay away from yellow. So another thing you can do if you're just, smitten with a particular hue and you're feeling it maybe is a little too dark or too light, just move up and down your paint fan deck a notch or two. You can go from the base or bottom color and, you can increase the depth or opacity. You could take the intensity of the classic blue all the way up to a pastel. Look at the pastel in this book here, this magazine. You know, you could keep it in that royalty color depth. You know, do you need more grounding, more depth or opacity, or would you benefit by lighter colors that may make you feel uplifted? Depends on who you are. You know, I mean, I hope you're getting that. That matters. It matters to the inner sphere, which is you, what you create for your interior spaces and environments. So in other words, you may get the same qualities from a darker tone that someone else gets from a lighter hue, and vice versa. So in the comments below, you know, let me know what you would like help with in your interior spaces. You know, are you having any problems or issues or concerns of what it is that you're wanting to create? Go ahead and ask me your questions, and I'll, you know, do my best to answer all of those. I would just love to be able to help you. So, all right, that concludes today's video, and I hope you found it helpful, and I thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing to my channel. And by the way, again, you got to hit the bell next to subscribe to receive notifications of when I post the videos. And as I mentioned, I post them once a week. That all helps support the channel. So if you are looking to bring in a deeper sense of connection to your homes and workplace spaces so that your day-to-day life is infused with beauty, brilliance, and balance, you are in the right place. And I hope you'll join me next time on Design Beyond the Visual. I'm Heidi Smith, and I wish you all good Vastu. Bye, everybody.